Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Gem's Christmas Kitchen, sponsored and supported wholly by the Bristol Rovers Snowboard and Skiing Club, which is largely me. Anyway, so we're on episode 2, doing something a little bit different, but it is incredibly simple. But there is a bit of prep work. Now, if you watch the prep video, you'll know that the first ingredient is glassy cherries. Now, there's a rule about glassy cherries. If you watch the prep video, you will know that the first rule of glassy cherries is that when you open them, you have to eat one. All right. So we need glassy cherries, and if you've prepared them like I did, what you would have done is steep them for at least 24 hours in a bourbon whiskey of a cherry variety. Other bourbon whiskies are available. This is one I use quite a lot, a bit too much perhaps, some people would say. And this is like a black cherry infused one. So what we did with that, and here's one I prepared at least 24 hours earlier, is we filled the cherries with the bourbon whiskey, black cherry flavour, and let them steep over a 24-hour period. So if you eat them now, now they've got a nice rich and sharp whiskey taste to them. So what are we doing with these cherries? What we're making today is something called cherry bacons. So for this we will also need bacon. Now normally I wouldn't get streaky bacon, but for this you do need the streaky variety. You can have it smoked or unsmoked, that doesn't matter. Let's get rid of that rubbish. When you get your streaky bacon, what you want to do is cut it into like a sort of 4 or 5 inch length. So you cut it up in half. Let's move them cherries out of the way. Always use, when you're cooking bacon or cutting it before it's cooked, use the red cutting mat. I've been told that many times. This is not a professional kitchen. I don't know if you've guessed that, but we're not allowed to use the other coloured cutting mats for cutting raw meat, especially bacon. So once you cut all them in half, you need your cherries, right? So we've got our steeped cherries here. You open them up, and what we're going to do is wrap the bacon round the steeped bourbon cherries, and then we're going to secure it with what they call cocktail sticks. Now, this can be a bit tricky because obviously the bacon's quite thin and fine. Oh, just before we go any further, I'd just like to give a very heartfelt apology to Henry and Jensen, who commented that my YouTube skills weren't up to scratch. I'm still using my phone, boys, so as soon as I get used to using that GoPro, I'll put videos on there. But you'll just have to bear with me and subscribe manually within the channel, just like old school days of 2015. Right, anyway, back to the cherries. So what we're doing is wrapping the half bits of streaky bacon round your cherry. And then you get a cocktail stick, and then you stab it in through its red heart. And then you put it down. And then we're going to do this for a few of these. So again, bit of streaky bacon, cherry. This can be a bit tricky, but if you get a knack, I sort of drape it over like that. And then stab it in. If you've got shaky hands like me, which generally means you had a past, then you might struggle, but do bear with it. So let's do another couple. So you're wrapping it round, back over the top, hold it on the sides. Talking about people with shaky hands in the past. Big shout out to anyone that went to Cafe Blue in the late 90s. I'm not going to do them all of them in front of you because that would take ages. I'll do another one now. So another piece of bacon. This is a bigger piece of bacon, this. Wrap that round. Get another cocktail stick. Stab that through. Put it there. Now, I've got a plate of them that I prepared earlier. So we're going to put these ones on the plate. And then what I'm going to have to do now is move you over to the cooker. Now, when I say cooker, I do mean that white goods object that gets hot, not the one that sits on the sofa looking at Facebook. That's a different type of cooker. So let's take this over here. Right, how am I going to move this? And we need another ingredient as well. So when you're cooking anything in the frying pan, you could use oil, but oil's a bit, I don't know, a bit mechanical, you know, a bit industrial, isn't it? So instead, I've got nice full fat natural salted butter. Other salted butters are available. We can cut this on the white tray without getting told off. I really do need to wash my hands though because they're covered in bacon. Please bear with me, amuse yourself. It's the sound of the tap. Cross-contamination, you see. It's all about health and safety and a cleanly kitchen with Gem's Christmas Kitchen. So we're going to open up this butter. And then we want to put a nice blob of it in the frying pan. And the frying pan's on a nice hot heat over here. So I'm going to move the camera now. So the camera's going to jiggle, I'm afraid. Oh, look. Let's see if I can bend the legs down. Right, that's a perfect view. So what we're doing now is making sure that butter melts right through. We've got a nice bit of butter in there. It's quite a lot, but it's Christmas. Let's put our cherry bacons over here, ready to go. What I might do to help that along is get the old butter knife. Let's break this up a bit. Look at that. A few calories in there. One of my watchers from last week was a bit shocked, I think, at the number of calories. Big shout out to Anders Bishop. Anders, you alright, mate? You alright with this one? Don't get too stressed. Anders runs a business called Anders Bishop Fitness. He's a bit of a fitness freak. Poor lad suffers with fitness quite a lot. If you want to go over to his website, get in contact with him, send him a pie or a nice big cake or something like that. Right, so that butter's nicely melting in that pan. Look at that, that's almost 1/4 inch deep at least, that. Let's let the last few bits melt away. Oh, look at that. Even smells nice, sounds nice. And now we want to cook these bacons, these cherry bacons. Now this is nice and hot, this. So let's start putting them in. Oh, hear that sound. It's the sound of Christmas. Butter cooked bacon with cherries. What could be nicer than that? Well, that's a big one now. I think I doubled up on that one by accident. Well, that's what they're looking like normally. So let's get a few of them in the pan there. Ooh, look at them. Right. While you're watching that deliciousness cook up, I will tidy up the worktop a little. Move things out of the way. all them calories rushing over that bacon. I might have to fast film this, because it could take a bit of time. In fact, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to keep you waiting. I'm going to end this video here and come back for part 2 in about 10 minutes time. Up the gas.